What's your week been like? How do you feel like you can be effective? Is there a way that you feel like you have the ability to influence the process when it's happening, so far outside of your ordinary circle of influence?
What a great question.
A day in the life of a senator.
Yep. So first, the question that was asked, do you know anybody who's on Medicaid? The first email I got this morning was from an immediate family member, an uncle, saying, just in case you don't remember this, your cousin, name, her life depends on Medicaid. If it weren't for Medicaid, we never could have afforded. My cousin in Georgia reminded me last night on Facebook about Deucer, who I wouldn't have forgotten, but it's good to be reminded, who is a quadriplegic and has been since he was 18, and whose care is made possible by Medicaid. These are immediate family members for whom this isn't academic. The ability of their families to afford their care is made possible only by Medicaid. And so a bill that purports to cut $800 billion out of Medicaid over a decade scares the daylights out of them. Obviously, I hear from hundreds of Delawareans. The last count, I think, in my weekly report was 2,450 calls to my office against and about 140 in favor. That's just Delaware, but I keep track of how that all works.
Like, how many calls do you get about a typical piece of legislation that's coming up for a vote? Is that a lot or a little?
20, 30,
okay.
Yeah.
So 2,400 is a lot.
That's a lot. Sorry, I'm from a very small state. I mean, that's an appreciable percentage of our population. And, more importantly is the folks who buttonhole me, outside the grocery store as I'm waiting for the train to commute down to Washington after church on Sunday. I mean, people who literally are like, I got to talk to you about this. And one of the good things about commuting from Delaware to Washington is folks see me on the train or in our community regularly and have a chance to just come up and say, Chris, I'm really upset and worried about this. So your question, what was the last week like? It is maddening to have something this important that will have this much impact and that I think has the moral consequences of this bill, moving and to have no role. No idea what's in it, no ability to affect the outcome. This is really entirely a Republican caucus issue at the moment. And I refuse to accept the idea that I have no role to play and no input. So on the one hand, I'm trying to make sure that my constituents understand as much as possible what the bill's about, what the consequences might be, whether it's for drug treatment for the opioid crisis or residential treatment and care for seniors or for those with disabilities. We're trying to get that information out so that my constituents have a sense of why I would be voting on this and why this matters. I'm also talking to my colleagues in the Republican Party because I want them to have a sense that if this bill fails this week, and it may by 1 or 2 votes, or it may pass by 1 or 2 votes, this is going to be a high wire act where Mitch McConnell will demonstrate his skill as leader, because it will not be known exactly what deals got cut on exactly what side with what amendment right up until the final vote. And you've got 4 announced against it on the conservative side and 1 announced against it on the I need it to be less punishing on Medicaid side. But there's another 3 below here and 2 below here. So he's dealing with 10 senators who are in play. And in order to amend it in ways that address these concerns, cut more, you're aggravating this side. And then in order to deal with this side, you're aggravating this side.